Due to the extreme danger, wilderness experts were present off camera to provide survival and emergency aid. Alaska, beautiful, wild, dangerous.
It was our second bear encounter. It was terrifying.
Just over a month into the Alaska experiment, and the 4 groups of volunteers are facing survival challenges they never imagined. Hunger and exhaustion are almost unbearable.
You're apparently a genius in this.
Oh my God.
And predators are threatening.
I never imagined I'd be stalking a wolf.
Welcome to the Alaska experiment. It's late fall, and in the rugged Alaskan bush, that means change. Rapid, unrelenting change. Winter is near, and temperatures are dropping. Cold Arctic storms are beginning to blow in, and darkness now begins to fall at 4 in the afternoon. Inside Icy Bay, Jeff Frederick and his girlfriend Elizabeth Widmeyer are struggling to survive in their canvas wall tent. They're hungry and weak. Food's been scarce.
Anything at all?
No.
The salmon run ended weeks ago, and they failed to preserve half their catch. It's taken a dramatic toll on their bodies. Their weekly medical tests show they're losing weight. They've each dropped over 10 pounds, and what's worse, they're losing muscle mass.
We've never encountered problems like these, I mean, on any scale, really. I mean, it's cold, it's windy, it's rainy, and we're very hungry most of the time. I mean, we have essentially no protein in our diets right now.
And to make matters worse, their time here hasn't lessened their fear of bears. And every day seems to bring some new sign that they're living among these huge predators. Now they have another encounter with their lumbering neighbors, and they capture it on their journal cam.
Uh-oh.
He's right.
Yeah, I see him. Big bear.
I came out, and I was going to piss, and I went back in for a second, and I heard the sloshing. I came up into the grasses expecting to see a moose rack. I saw some trees move, and I figured, oh, here you come, big old moosey knocking trees down. And that monster rounded the corner. Well, it was our second bear encounter. I mean, it was terrifying, and it really made us kind of gulp hard. And we talk about how we're in the food chain, but it's an abstraction until you see the food chain up close.
Bears usually steer clear of humans, and they're easily scared off by loud noises. But not this one.
Hey, bear! Hey!
That stopped him.
The bear's about 200 yards away, just watching them. It could close the distance long before Jeff and Elizabeth could flee.
Not only is there really nowhere to hide from an animal that big, there's nowhere to run, because he could easily outrun you. We're living in a canvas tent, which he could walk through in a heartbeat. Yeah, very humbling, very intimidating, and just you feel defenseless completely.
The bear moves on, for now. At the mouth of Icy Bay, Dennis Wise is trying to make life more comfortable for himself and his daughters.
I've salvaged the big planks out of the driftwood. Kind of nasty on the outside, and so I'm using a draw plane to get all the dirt and everything nasty off that I can. We also found some 5-gallon metal drums. We'll have a bench to sit on. It'll give us a little bit more of a sitting area other than the floor, because every time you have to get up and get down all the way from the ground, you're burning more energy, it's more calories. So this will be a little bit easier to sit, more comfortable, to relax. It'll make life a lot easier inside the cabin, especially for myself.
Well, good to know that we now have a bench so that during the productive part of the day when you want us working, we can sit and read. He just gave us permission to slack off.
Yay!
90 miles to the northeast in the rugged Chitna Valley, 3 friends, Tim Wagner, Alan O'Hara, and Jasmine Kung, are nearing their physical and emotional limit. None of them caught any salmon, and the shortage of fat and proteins eating away at their bodies. Their weekly medical tests show Tim's dropped almost 12 pounds, Alan's lost 8, and Jasmine 9. Everyone's body fat percentage is falling.
Damn it!
And they're losing precious muscle. Paul Claus and his wife Donna have hiked into the Flower Lake cabin to give them a crash course in hunting.
There's somebody.
Donna's brought the trio a loaf of home-baked bread, a wilderness tradition that falls outside the rules of the experiment. But since it contains no protein, they're allowed to keep it. Born and raised in Alaska, Paul's a legendary guide and survival expert who's agreed to mentor the groups. Neither Tim, Alan, nor Jasmine have ever shot a gun. And if they weren't so hungry, they'd keep it that way.
You know, for a long time, I was really against guns. I'm a pacifist, but I think out here it makes more sense to have a gun than in San Diego or Los Angeles.
What I'd like to do today is show you about guns. Gun safety is prime importance. This is a .22.
I gotta admit, I have a fear of shooting guns. So for me to shoot guns today, it was really big for me to overcome.
So what we're gonna shoot now is a .338 Winchester Magnum. My grandfather considered the .338 probably the best all-around caliber for Alaska because it can shoot fairly long range, so it's good for sheep. It's got enough power to kill a bear, power to kill a moose. Okay, you're on safety. There is one in the barrel now. You saw it go in, right?
Yes, I did. Oh, man. Oh. Wow. Oh, man, that .338, it put me on my back as well as gave me what's called a scope eye. Got a little cut up here.
With the marksmanship course done, Paul and Donna take the three friends and the small .22 out into the woods to hunt. They move slowly, careful not to startle anything they might want to eat. Over in a stand of pines, they spot a rabbit. It's Tim who stalks the prey. This computer expert from California is used to troubleshooting software glitches, not shooting rabbits.
You see anything else? No. Oh, I see. Right there. Just take whatever's clear shot. Squeeze it off. Squeeze it off. Just squeeze it off.
Nice shot, Tim.
It's a young one.
It's a what?
Young one this year's.
Oh, man, it's so warm.
These are called snowshoe hares.
Where'd you hit him, Paul?
In the heart. Perfect shot. Should we go back over the stream and
Absolutely.
go to work? You guys got some real protein tonight.
He's still twitching. Is that normal?
Now comes the hard part, skinning and dressing their kill.
Let me show you how to do it.
Okay.
Hold this leg like that.
Got it.
Watch your finger. You don't want to get cut.
More?
Keep cutting.
Nice. Ooh.
Yeah, you can do that. Now hold it like this.
Okay.
And basically you're just
right
do
off,
it real gently and peel it down. Inside out. You're turning the hair inside out as you go.
At first, skinning a rabbit was kind of morbid, having to feel the warm flesh on it still.
Okay, and I'm gonna let you gut it. I don't want to pop the gut, so you just run this knife and make a nice slit all the way up there, and then we'll be able to pull the guts out.
Tim's got to be careful not to cut into the organs.
So is that up the belly?
That could contaminate the meat and make them sick.
Wow, it's really loose in here. It's like science class.
I personally don't like to clean skin or gut animals. It's gross. It's disgusting. It's slimy. It's smelly. It's bloody. It's slimy.
So now you just take your finger in there and you scoop all the way inside, get it and make it in kind of one motion so you get it all out of there.
So I'm going in like this.
Yeah.
So warm?
Okay, it's a little...
Gooey.
Make sure you get it all out.
Oh.
And just keep grabbing. Throw that in the water. Just give that a toss.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
The rabbit's got less than 2 pounds of meat. That's enough for today, but not for tomorrow or the frigid months to come. 20 miles east and 3,200 feet up on Hawkins Glacier in the Chitna Valley, it's just 34 degrees. And at the abandoned trapper's cabin, Greg Pearson and his wife Bernice are trying to preserve more than 100 pounds of goat meat. Greg shot the goat a week ago, and since then, he's had the meat hanging from a tree. That's a real risk, considering all the hungry carnivores here. So Greg's decided to cut the meat into pieces, put it in plastic bags, and store it in a cooler outside the cabin.
You ready?
Yeah. The first couple of nights, I think we got up every few hours to check to make sure the goat was still hanging in the tree because we were so afraid an animal was going to come and take it.
I sure hope I'm not destroying it, but...
I feel like this is so unsanitary. I mean, cutting all of this meat on these pieces of wood that have been sitting around here, storing it in plastic bags and keeping it outside.
See, I think the opposite. I think it's like a refrigerator freezer outside. And everybody knows that, you know, germs are a lot more frequent in warmer weather.
Well, I think that I'm going to tend to cook the heck out of it to try to kill anything. Mine will be very, very well done.
Like all the groups, their cabin has no electricity or refrigerator, but with the temperature hovering around 35 degrees, it's cold enough to just leave it outside. Even in the cooler, the smell of meat will carry for miles and could attract everything from birds to bears to wolves. But it may already be too late.
Unbelievable. Bernice and I went out to go gather some water, and we ran into some wolf tracks.
Look at
There's one that's going
exact
down,
same print.
and
Look
there's
at
one
there
that's
again.
going up.
So last night he came back through the camp.
Seeing the wolf tracks kind of makes me realize again that we are in the wilderness. You know, these wild creatures that live to hunt and eat are right around us. You know, it made me really start thinking about the fact that I have a half of a goat right outside my cabin. You know, I'm sure he smelt that, and he's probably, you know, going to be around.
Wolves are ravenous predators that hunt in packs, and in winter, they become more desperate and more bold.
Where do those go? You follow them?
Back in sunny California, Greg is used to pouring concrete, not fending off wolves.
Let's follow these tracks and see if it shows him going right by our camp. Because he went right by our camp coming this way. I bet he did going back that way, too.
The wilderness is so tough, and it was just a lot of work to get the goat. And we bring it home, and we carve it, and now we have to be afraid of predators coming to get our food. So it just never lets up. It's always tough, no matter where you are here.
Down on the coast at Icy Bay, the Wise family's been living among Alaska's largest population of brown bears. Up until now, they've done well, catching salmon, collecting wood, and steering clear of their 1,000-pound neighbors. But those neighbors now have the family worried.
There's been a bear here very, very recently.
So they've come up with a survival tactic all their own, building a fence made of urine.
I hate carrying pee around. But, you know, after dark, there's a lot of animals that come through. We've heard some recently. And so we set up a system. We've been emptying it all around the house, just kind of marking the house with human scent. So the wolves and the bears and anything else that comes through realizes that, yeah, there's someone else living there.
But bears aren't their only worry. There's no guarantee the salmon they preserved will keep. And despite their stockpile, they're all losing weight. The medical tests show Dennis and Carolyn have each dropped about 15 pounds, and Jennifer's lost 5.
I don't feel like I lost weight.
You have.
What's obvious from the medical tests is that the Wises need more food, and the best alternative protein source here is Alaska's iconic moose. Paul Claus has sent Neil Webster, a seasoned moose tracker, to take one of them on a hunt for these huge animals, which Alaska law requires they hunt with a licensed guide.
We're only going to be able to take one on the moose hunt because the chances of your success are a lot higher the fewer people involved. Have you guys talked amongst yourselves and which one you've decided is going to be going on the moose hunt?
Yeah, we've decided it's going to be me. All my life, I've relied on Dad. He worked, you know, for 30 years at a very difficult job. And it's really awesome to know that my dad is trusting me to take down this animal. This is a chance to provide for my dad while he's still perfectly capable of doing it, but he's giving it up to me to do that. We're on fire!
Carolyn has never fired a high-powered rifle before.
How was the recoil?
I was not ready for that.
Did it bite you?
Yep.
Well, if that had been a moose, it's still in the kill zone, but
It's true.
about 3 inches low.
Carolyn's never gone on a hunt, and yet she'll be going after one of the largest land animals in North America.
The live adult weight of a moose is about 1,650 pounds.
That's big.
It is. And when it's field dressed, it'll be about 950 pounds. Boned out, around 700 pounds.
It's also one of the most dangerous.
When you've got that much energy coming at you at full charge, that can be quite a force to reckon with.
In Alaska, moose have killed and injured more people than bears.
Are you gonna get a moose today?
That's the plan.
Let's go see if we can find one.
All right.
Carolyn heads out on her hunt. She'll return to her cabin nightly.
Dad and Jenny are here. They're relying on me. And if I do get this moose, it'll be a chance to, be able to help out the family a whole lot.
Bald eagle flying around up there ahead of us. Maybe that's a good omen.
I hope so. There's going to be days coming up where there's torrential rain, there's gale force winds, we can't go out of the cabin. And if something goes wrong with the salmon and we don't get the moose, we could be in some trouble.
7 miles inside of Icy Bay, Jeff and Elizabeth know they will also get a chance to hunt.
I'm going to build a chimney that slants off over there.
They are preparing their camp in hopes that they will get some meat.
So I dug a deep pit, and then I just kind of lined it out with rocks that kind of fit well and packed them in with gravel and sand to try to lock them together as best I could so it would hold up to the rain.
What happened to my rock garden?
Well, the whole process of smoking, there are 2 ways of doing it. There's the hot smoking and cold smoking, and hot smoking is like a barbecue. And that's cooking food, and that's for immediate consumption. Cold smoking is a way of curing the meat for long-term storage, and the idea is that the smoke travels some distance away from the fire to cool, and then the cool smoke just allows the meat to dry, in essence, and keep the insects off it while it dries. And at one end, I left an opening, chamber, sort of. Later on, I'm going to fit a pipe there, and that'll work as an inlet when I'm Dutch ovening to bring air into the fire so that it burns. And when we're smoking, it'll work as an outlet to funnel the smoke off into the smoker. So that's what I've got so far.
It looks phenomenal. I think we hired a geologist to do this or something.
"90 miles to the northeast in the Chitna Valley, a wolf's been circling Greg and Bernice's cabin.
Well, it's been a couple of days now, and the wolf's been back. We heard some noises outside. It sounded like a wolf. I grabbed my Davy Cricket gun, and we started hiking over there, Bernice and I, and we found wolf tracks, sure enough, and we just followed them. And I think we got really close because as we were walking over there, we could hear him, and then just kind of stopped hearing anything. Followed him all the way down to the glacier, and sure enough, he looped around us, and he went right back and came back where we were. So we followed him back around, and then I started thinking, shoot, now he's going back by our cabin. And this is where we traced him yesterday, right to here. Last thing we need is for a wolf to start taking our food, So we kept my gun in hand, and Bernice was right behind me. We started running and tried to catch up to him, and then sure enough, he went 30 yards in front of our cabin, and then he kind of just disappeared. So that's got me a little worried, thinking, Bernice walking alone on the trail, she got to be careful. And then our goat, I'm sure he might smell that.
To protect themselves and their food, Greg and Bernice practiced shooting the .22 that survival expert Paul Claus gave them to hunt small game.
If the wolf comes back, Bernice, this will put a stop to him.
Let's see if you're a good shot. Oh, you got it.
With this single shot, we better get the wolf on the first shot.
Definitely.
I never imagined I'd be, stalking a wolf or anything like that. But if it comes down to the wolf trying to get my goat or me shooting a wolf, I'm going to go after the wolf because we're here to survive. If something happens and I fall or something, it'd be good for you to be able to grab the gun and shoot something,
yeah.
and that could save our lives. Right in the heart.
Down on the coast at Icy Bay, Jeff and Elizabeth's struggle for food continues. Despite their best efforts and innovation, they've had a tough time coming up with much to eat. The couple improvise and try to build a crab trap.
I want to build a crab pot because I think there are Dungeness crab out there, and if we can't harvest any more protein besides what we've already got canned, we're in big trouble. This is not the kind of thing we've done before and we're used to at all. We're just kind of looking at what we've got and looking at what we need and just trying to fill that gap with creativity. Well, there's one hoop.
All right. Very stable on the bottom.
It is. It's going to be a flat bottom, I think, and I'm going to maybe put the notch on the inside here, use this. I just kind of made the design up. I've never built a crab trap before. I just tried to recreate what I've seen and what I know works.
But building a trap uses up valuable time. In a few weeks, winter will have set in, and they're still dangerously short of wood and water.
We've got so much to do. We've got so much firewood to cut. So it's kind of a tough balancing act for us, but we're trying real hard to eat and to keep our weight up.
I am looking forward to some crabs.
Easy. I need a whole lot of luck first.
I'm, by the day, getting hungry and hungrier.
Gotta make sure we'll be able to find these.
We could just throw a rock or two in the trap. Any thoughts?
We should maybe put buoys on these or something.
You didn't bring a buoy? You got a buoy in your pocket? Let's throw some rocks in
I guess.
Per pound, crabs got a lot of protein and calories, but it's going to take a lot of crabs, dozens and dozens of them, to ease their desperate situation.
What are you doing?
I figured instead of walking all the way out there to get rocks that don't fit, I'd just come to you.
These rocks will fit.
Are they heavy enough?
What's that?
Are they gonna be heavy enough to weigh it down?
I can't hear you.
Are they going to be heavy enough?
Yeah.
With lack of food, I seem to be more emotional and sensitive, and Jess seems to be a bit more edgy. So we have to be very mindful of that as we start to interact, and 'cause it can have a very negative effect.
Alrighty, bring us crabs.
Please. If we can't harvest crab in the coming weeks, we'd be hurting.
Let's cross our fingers.
Back up in the Chitna Valley, Tim, Alan, and Jasmine are about to bite into the first meat they've had in weeks. In addition to their rabbit, they also shot a squirrel on their hunt, and Jasmine is preparing both.
I love to cook at home, but I have to say it wasn't the most pleasant experience to have to cut off their paws. Today is a new experience for everybody. I'm sure Alan has never killed a squirrel before. Tim, I am certain, has never killed a rabbit, and I have never cooked either.
Seems unnatural.
You know what? When I was cooking it, it felt a bit unnatural. It did.
I was so excited. Even though the squirrel was so small, I was so excited to have anything with the taste of meat on it.
It's not all that different. It's not all that different from chicken. I'm surprised. I didn't think I'd like it.
The three devour the meat, but it does little to satisfy their need for fat and protein. If anything, it's just made them hungry for more. It's little over a month into the Alaska experiment, and back at Icy Bay, Jeff and Elizabeth set out to check their homemade crab pot. They're desperate for food. Each of them's burning about 4,000 calories a day, yet they're eating less than 2,000.
We caught a bag of rotten fish.
No crabs.
No crabs.
It's a situation that has to change, and change soon.
It's a bummer. It's a lot of work to make the traps. It's a lot of work to get them out there and set them. And to pull up an empty crab pot's always a bummer. So we're going to replace the traps in different spots and see if we can set these things into some crabs.
So we're moving to the sandy bits.
Out there?
In the sandiness? Yeah.
I'm not comfortable walking out in that stuff because we were worried about
I'm
the quicksand.
saying walk as far as we're comfortable and see where that is. You just don't want to go in the sand at all.
The sand I'm fine with. It's the muck that surrounds the sand that is dangerous. In an ideal situation, we'd be setting these things on a nice sandy bottom somewhere in deep water. And so we kind of went back and forth about whether or not it would be worth it to walk out onto the flats at low tide and try to set the traps. But the problem with the flats here is that there's sand close to shore, but as you get further out, it gets really mucky and soft, and it's dangerous for us.
You don't want to try walking out to a point where you feel comfortable and putting the crab.
Go ahead and just walk right there.
No, I'm not going to walk right there. If we started from the shore and walked out till it was comfortable enough, till we were uncomfortable enough.
I don't think we would get this far out, is my point.
Well, then we'll put them in the rocks.
As deep as it gets. Really? Really?
They've been dating for just 5 months, and the hunger and frustration's wearing on them and their relationship.
Jeff and I's relationship has changed significantly since being here in Alaska. I feel like it could get ruined pretty easily.
What?
Don't go walking in the mud for...
I'm just saying, this is as far as I think we should go.
Well, then put it down.
Actually, I don't even want to be this far out.
Well, then why'd you do it? To prove a point?
You wanted them further out.
Theirs isn't the only relationship that's being tested. Back up at Flower Lake, the stress of wilderness living has Tim, Alan, and Jasmine on edge. They're trying to adjust the sights on their .22 rifle to make it shoot straight.
I don't think you hit it.
You know what the problem is that we got to get a shot on just to see how off it is. So the thing could be really off right now. It's hard to tell now.
Okay.
Is he shot high? You shot low.
I think we each should shoot 2 because it'll give us. You can't just base it
Well,
off
let's just
of
adjust
one
it
bullet.
and make it to the right. That's kind of for sure.
Well, I think we should each shoot 2 before we adjust it.
And then what if it's all over the place? Then what does that tell you?
We have 525 bullets, you know.
You understand the concept of what we're doing?
Yes, we're
trying to sight the rifle.
I understand that.
So you think we should shoot more bullets and then that'll tell us how to sight the rifle?
No, I'm saying shoot one more to make sure that it is lined up. Because how do you know that we were...
You both shot left.
You're basing that off of one bullet.
You both shot left. Let's move it right and take another shot. See if that works.
Let's take one shot. What happens if it doesn't need to be? If it needs to be adjusted to the right, great.
You adjust it. You're apparently a genius in this.
Oh my God.
Great. Knock yourself out.
What? Dude, is he upset with me?
No.
What did I do?
You didn't do anything wrong. It's, you know.
No, I walk on eggshells not to piss him off all the time.
I do as well. He's not used to being in a confined situation with 2 other people and people questioning his judgment, you know? Give him a minute to cool off.
Albert Einstein said once something like, when there's other people in the room, the temperature has a way of changing. When you're by yourself, the temperature's always just right. So I'm gonna take his advice right now.
This early in the experiment, the tension's worrying, since their survival depends on teamwork.
Hey, at least he walked away this time and didn't end up yelling. I mean, that's a big bonus.
20 miles west, high up in the snow-covered mountains, Greg and Bernice are running dangerously low on water. And even with a wolf in the area, they set out to find a stream that isn't frozen over. At a minimum, they're using 3 gallons of water a day, and it's a 2-hour trek to get it.
We went to our watering hole and everything was frozen. We weren't sure what we were going to do.
Oh, be careful not to hit the dirt. There's mud.
Let's try that pool over there. Oh, he's dry. You're ready to go that one up there.
When we didn't find water, where I was thinking, oh, great, now we're going to have to depend on the snow or depend on the ice here, and that's just a lot more work that we have to do. I mean, not only work carrying the ice back, but then having to melt it before we can actually have water.
No. Good. Can you hear any water creaking? No. Unbelievable.
Due to the extreme danger, wilderness experts were present off camera to provide survival and emergency aid. It's over a month into the Alaska experiment, and with winter just days away, the 4 groups are struggling to prepare, racing against time to find enough food, water, and firewood to see them through the coming freeze. High up on Hawkins Glacier, Greg and Bernice are on a dangerous search for water. There's a wolf in the area, and the rocks they're scrambling over are glazed with slippery ice.
Careful, man.
Layers of ice.
Over the last week, the temperatures have nosedived, turning the clear streams and waterfalls they drank from into solid ice.
You okay? Are you going in?
Yeah, I do. Okay.
Huh?
See anything?
It's dirt.
You can't survive more than a few days without water, and at this elevation, a body dehydrates quickly.
You hear it?
Yeah. Right up here. A little higher.
Trickling water.
That's a little thin right there.
Somewhere below them, water's flowing, but there's no telling how thick the ice they're walking on is. A fall here could be catastrophic.
Look at that wolf track right there.
Straight to the water.
Right up the river. There we go.
I feel like we're digging for oil or
Close your eyes.
gold or something.
This is gold. Luckily enough, we were able to get some water, but can't imagine, you know, we're going to have to keep going up and up that river, so pretty soon we're all the way to the top. That water source is getting pretty scary, really.
The only thing better would be if that was a hot spring. Finding water.
Back down at Icy Bay, Jeff and Elizabeth have put the search for food on hold. Instead, they're working to keep what food they have left from spoiling.
So today, cold storage, the pooper.
Yeah. And you're thinking cold storage right here?
Yeah.
You can't plan ahead too much out here. We want to have all that stuff done and in place so that if we get lucky enough to get game meat, we're good to go with it. We don't have to waste a day or 2 days preparing all this stuff. It's already set aside and ready to go. Elizabeth right now is working on a storage chamber that's buried partially, at least, in the ground so that the even temperatures of the ground keep things from getting too warm should we get a warm day.
In the wilderness, food contamination's a real risk. Get sick, and everything can spiral out of control.
You think this is cobbled enough?
Yep.
Illness means you can't find food, you can't fetch water, and you can't gather wood. To minimize the risk, Elizabeth's building an outdoor commode to keep their waste away from them and the food.
When you're out in the backcountry, contamination of food is often from poor waste practices, and so having it will probably be a much smoother operation and less chances for contamination.
With the commode complete, the couple sets out to check the crab pot. At the mouth of Icy Bay, Dennis Wise is putting the finishing touches on his commode, only he's put his inside the cabin, near the kitchen and the food.
There.
Yay. So in case you feel like going to the bathroom like that, you're set.
There, and it'll fit right there, and it's adjustable forward and back for wherever. It's when you're done, you take some ashes and you pour it on the inside here.
Okay.
Okay.
We dug a large pit outside, and we have it covered with some rusty sheet metal that we found, and we can open this pit up and then dump the privy into the pit. It's just the same as having an outdoor outhouse, except for we're not doing it outdoors. We just take it from indoors, dump it into the pit, and let it decompose.
Meanwhile, his daughter Carolyn's miles away, 2 days into her hunt for Alaska's largest and most dangerous animal, moose. Despite their size, moose are elusive and notoriously hard to hunt. But Carolyn and her guide, Neil Webster, finally see signs there's one nearby.
Hoof print of a moose. And if you put your hand down in there, you can feel where the hoof mark was. And instead of this thing walking in the wide open, what does it do? There's a group of trees here, a group of trees there, and there's a little opening, and it goes right through that opening.
They don't like to be seen.
No, they don't.
When you're calling moose, you've got to be aware that not only will a moose come in, but a bear may come in looking for an easy meal. And the moose, when they come in their full rut, they're expecting to find a cow there or another bull to fight, and so they're already pumped up and charged up, and so they can be dangerous as well, because their hooves on a moose are just as deadly as the claws on a bear.
They fake the call of a moose cow, and then they hear an answer.
just come through the timber and they'll just poke their head out, just look,
Over a month into the Alaska experiment, and with winter just days away, it's a race against time, and some of the groups have fallen dangerously behind.
I think that hole got a lot shallower with the water.
It did. We're gonna have to dig it out again.
Yeah.
And just pray to God that it freezes. We are living in a tent on a platform next to a creek that drains a huge marsh, and we've got a storm that's been dropping rain on us for 4, 5, 6 days straight now. So it's just it's draining to be wet all the time. Oh, here comes the water, like right now. Let's grab everything off the deck. We're inundated. Literally, it's right there. We're done working on this project.
One bad storm and this tent would become an island.
It's just the creek has come up, I guess. Came up fast. Oh, look at that. Tide is high.
In a matter of minutes, 2 days of work is washed away.
My smoker, underwater. The underwater. And I know we don't even have to look in cold storage because we know it's bone dry.
We're working for our food, we're working for our warmth, we're working for our water, we're working for everything, really. And so it's really frustrating to, put the energy into all this really hard work and then to have nothing to, show for that.
Wow. There's water in the can. Got a tiny bit of water in our cold storage. But we pulled the fish out. We're going to dry the cans off and we'll store them inside until this passes.
With emotions already raw, the failure of the refrigerator pushes Elizabeth over the edge. It's the latest in a long string of failures she and her boyfriend have suffered.
You feel like it's a failure because it has water in it? We work really hard and we take pride in our work and we, try to put things away and prepare, but Alaska doesn't care. We're sitting in the lowest spot on the beach. Nothing we can do.
80 miles inland, Tim, Alan, and Jasmine set out from their cabin at Flower Lake to hunt small game in the Chitna River Valley with the .22 survival expert Paul Claus left them.
Tim, is that too deep?
Yeah.
There's one other area that kind of has a ridge, but it's deep.
Dang, this doesn't look good.
Hunger forces them to take chances they'd never consider back home.
From what I understand, you have about 90 seconds if you fall in there to get out.
Please let me not fall. A log had fallen over this part of the braid, frozen over, and there was, at least 5 to 8 feet of gushing water coming underneath. It was frozen over, so it's slippery, and then we're carrying 75-pound packs. Yeah,
good job, Jasmine.
The water's not even a degree above freezing. Fall in, and within 90 seconds, they'd turn hypothermic.
Woo!
Nice job.
Thanks, dude. That's dangerous.
Oh,
you okay? You okay, babe?
Uh-huh.
Ouch.
I slipped.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm okay.
With the hunger physically catching up with them, they pick themselves up and push on.
When you're just sapped of energy, it's hard to move forward. It's just a struggle. Just kind of pressing forward with whatever energy we've got.
Then the group spots something on the horizon.
There's the fourth one, another crow.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Big dude.
Big bison.
Where's the 22? Get the 22.
But the .22 doesn't have the power to bring down one of these 1,500-pound animals. So they press on. And soon spot something else.
We're just walking along, and we happen to see a bunch of birds flying around, a lot of eagles, actually.
Look at the crows.
Where's the crows?
Over there.
Golden eagle.
There's one here, and there's another one in the tree line. There's 3 of them.
Where there's swarming birds, there's usually something dead or dying.
You can see all the birds waiting.
That one looks like a bald eagle.
And the scent of blood is sure to lure in other predators.
Something's in his mouth.
Where the eagles are staying away.
Despite the risk, the hungry friends march in to have a look.
Jazz, not so loud.
Ooh, I can smell it.
What is that? Oh my gosh. It's a massacre.
They stumble upon the carcass of another bison. And it hasn't yet been picked clean by scavengers.
A lot of that meat looks pretty good. If you wanted to pull something off, that you probably could.
Ew. It's a massacre.
There's no doubt that out here, the smell of this kill's wafted in every direction and will lure in predators anxious for an easy meal. And this late in the season, they'll fight for every scrap. Despite the risk, the meat's too tempting to pass up.
Wow, look at that meat.
I can eat that.
You guys are actually seeing meat that's usable?
Yeah, on the neck.
I think it's definitely, there's still a lot of meat left on it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be some good eating.
Living out here, you have to hunt and gather. So, I mean, in that moment of just seeing it, and you had to take advantage of and make best of the situation. You're out here taking off meat from this carcass because it's really fresh, basically becoming scavengers.
Oh my God, there's a ton of it all right here.
There's a lot of meat
right on
left.
his, it's like right on his spine. Look how dark that is, wow.
They work quickly to strip off as much as they can before bears or wolves descend.
Just get the big chunks. We can deal with the details of the tendons and everything else later.
It's gonna be some good eating.
There's a lot of meat still underneath. I never thought I would ever be scavenging meat off a dead animal.
Down on the coast at the mouth of Icy Bay, Carolyn returns from her 4-day moose hunt.
Dad, Jenny, I'm home.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, Carolyn.
I
Where's
got
my
dropped.
moose?
Running free.
Me and Jenny both had gastrointestinal ailments all day. It's a good thing we didn't go.
It's a little bit maddening that Carolyn didn't end up getting a moose on the hunt because, I really don't know how we're going to survive, the rest of the winter with as little to eat as we seem to have left.
From now on, the Wises will need to ration their food, and their only source of protein is salmon.
The end of the moose hunt, when it was over, I cried myself to sleep because, I had the chance to get a moose and we didn't have red meat. We didn't have a moose. There was nothing. I know Jenny was disappointed. I know Dad was disappointed. I just felt terrible. But Alaska will not beat me. It might knock me down. It might, give me a couple bruises. I know it's going to get hard. I know it's going to get, to the point where I will want to quit. But it's going to be pushing myself to the absolute limit, past what I've ever even imagined doing before. And I will come out of this stronger.
Next time on the Alaska Experiment, the first winter storm charges in. Snow and ice blanket the land, making survival all the more difficult.
I can't stop working. We're going to have to make it with what we got.
And everyone's in a last-ditch effort to find food.
The prospect of having moose meat is the difference between a good winter or a bad winter.
It's a sprint to make all the final preparations before the Arctic cold settles in for good.
Your life now is about surviving.
When the Alaska Experiment returns.